Later, because I made him.
He didn't come to the next day, but when I come to the place, I got my son ready to walk out the door. There's some lady like, oh, that's not your son. I seen some other guy holding him. Like,
really?
Yes.
I can't sit here no more. Miss Harris.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
We got you.
I don't want to be on the camera no more, no.
Okay.
Could it potentially be mine? And she said, no, you're in the clear. So at that point, I
never said he was in the clear.
But wait, you also didn't say there were 2 other men involved, Miss Pope, when you just testified.
Miss Russell claims Mr. Shepard denies paternity of their 10-month-old daughter Armani and pawned her engagement ring, calling off their wedding in what could be the most dramatic episode of Pawn Stars yet. She hopes the paternity test will prove him to be the father and dreams of marrying him someday, or at least getting a guest spot on Maury. Mr. Shepard, on the other hand, expresses his denial of paternity, suspecting infidelity on Miss Russell's part, and possibly blaming the milkman, because why not?
You claim that Mr. Shepard has been denying the paternity of your 10-month-old Armani. You say he even took back your engagement ring, pawned it, and called off your wedding. You have petitioned the court for a paternity test to prove to him that he is the father of your daughter. You say you hope that today's results will go your way and someday you'll both still marry.
Oh, it's gonna go my way.
Can you even? Mr. Shepard is trying to get Miss Russell to take a lie detector test like it's a game show challenge, making their court fight feel more like they're competing for a spot on the most dramatic relationship ever. This whole thing screams trust issues and drama, as if untangling their mess wasn't already like trying to separate headphones that have been in your pocket for too long. The judge is all in for this circus, promising us more popcorn moments. And oh boy, you're gonna want to stick around for the next act.
You have also petitioned the court, order Ms. Russell to take a lie detector test, prove whether or not she has been faithful to you.
Yes.
Grab your popcorn as Miss Russell and Mr. Shepard spill the tea on their wild ride together. It's like watching a telenovela, but without the ad breaks to breathe. Miss Russell talks about how Mr. Shepard tried to control her every move and doesn't even want to admit their second kiddo is his. This saga paints them as the king and queen of Dramaland, serving us a hot reminder that talking things out might actually work wonders. Buckle up, the ride gets even wackier from here.
Well, really, like, he kept calling me, begging me to come home, and I told him
when I was calling her, she wasn't answering the phone.
Yes, I
was texting. She didn't answer the phone.
Yes,
So you're at your cousin.
Yes.
Are you or are you not taking his call?
In the beginning, no, I wasn't.
Okay.
But at the end, yes, I did start taking his call.
I've been calling ever since she left. Like,
so how long was that?
When she left, I say like a couple of hours after that, I started calling her because a lot of men be over there.
Next up on this soap opera, in a courtroom buzzing with the kind of tension you'd find in a reality TV finale. The judge looks like he's trying to solve the world's hardest crossword puzzle, all while eyeing a calendar. This calendar isn't just for marking dentist appointments. It's the key to a paternity mystery twistier than a bag of pretzels. With Miss Russell and Mr. Shepard glaring from their corners, we're all holding our breath for the big ta-da moment. This is the juicy bit where timelines and drama collide. And trust me, you'll want to see what's next.
To me, talking about she pregnant. How you could be pregnant and you wasn't even much with me? Me and you not having sex.
Submitted dates to the court. You felt like she was missing, and you feel like that coincides with when the child was conceived. So the pink is the estimated time of conception, which is the 1st January, and possibly the last that Ms. Russell had left the house. So as we can see, child's birthday's in late September, counting back.
Oh, it gets juicier. The moms take the stand, throwing in their 2 cents and turning the whole story on its head. Miss Russell's mom teams up with Mr. Shepard, dropping bombshells about her daughter's loyalty. This plot twist has us reeling, showcasing the crazy family vibes that make you wonder if you're watching a reality show. The courtroom's shook, and somewhere, a dramatic chipmunk is taking notes for its big break. But hold your horses, the next part is a real doozy.
He had his mother to come to the hospital to prove to him that that was his son.
Okay, hold on one second. Since we're talking about mothers here, I'd like to hear from them personally. I'd like to go the defendant's witness first. Please state your name for the record.
Vanita Russell.
And you
I'm the mother of Gina.
Oh, you're Gina's mother.
Yes, ma'am.
But you're Mr. Shepard's witness.
Yes.
And then, bam, the lie detector spills the beans. Miss Russell was honest about not getting cozy with her guy pal, but fibbed about other rendezvous. This plot twist hits like a reality show finale, confirming Mr. Shepard's suspicions and throwing their chances of making up into a blender. The crowd's reaction is everything, and you can almost hear the lie detector machine taking a victory lap. Get ready, the next scene is gonna have you rolling.
Did you ever have sexual intercourse with your male best friend? You answered no. The lie detector determined you were telling the truth.
Whoop, there it is.
Have you ever had sexual intercourse with any other man during your relationship with Mr. Shepard? You answered
No.
no. The lie detector determined that was a lie.
I ain't never cheated on him.
The lie detector test don't lie.
I ain't never cheated on him, Your Honor. I'm
Don't
telling
lie.
the truth.
In a story that's got more twists than a pretzel factory on overtime, we've got Mr. Shepard and his baby prodigy, Armani, tangled up in a daddy dilemma that's juicier than a reality TV show. Picture this, the DNA test results are in, and guess what?
When it comes to 10-month-old Armani, Mr. Shepard, you are the father. How do you feel?
I mean, I feel good about that, you know what I'm saying? Because that was what I was concerned about. That's my daughter now, but since that's my daughter, I'm going to take care of her. Like I take care of my son. So, you know, ain't no problem with that, but with her, I don't know.
Miss Harris finds herself in the middle of a romantic pickle, entangled in a love triangle with her current beau, Mr. Murray, and her ex-flame, Mr. Donaldson. Both gentlemen are locking horns, claiming to be the daddy-o of her daughter, Anya. As Miss Harris steps up to untangle this web, she's essentially setting the scene for a drama-packed episode that could give primetime soap operas a run for their money. It's a tale of love, confusion, and baby daddy mysteries that could only be spiced up if Maury Povich himself popped out with a DNA test in hand. Just when you think it can't get any crazier, the next scene takes the cake. Buckle up, because what comes next is a roller coaster ride of emotions.
You have been caught in a love triangle. There are 2 men in court today claiming to have fathered your 18-month-old daughter, Anaya, your current boyfriend, the plaintiff, Mr. Murray, and the defendant, your ex-boyfriend, Mr. Donaldson. They are both in court today to prove paternity. So, Ms. Harris, please come join me here.
Imagine this. Miss Harris and Mr. Donaldson are in the middle of a love story that's gone a bit pear-shaped. Picture Mr. D strolling around looking for love in all the wrong places, just as Miss Harris is in the kitchen, metaphorically speaking, with a baby bun warming up in the oven. And she's flying solo. But wait, there's a twist. Just when things seem bleak, both Mr. D and another mystery gent start competing in the Who's Your Daddy Olympics, each trying to out-dad the other during Miss Harris's pregnancy. It's like watching a paternity game of roulette. Everyone's got their chips on either red or black, but that roulette ball is still doing laps.
Tell me about your relationship with Mr. Donald.
From my understanding, we was dating. But then when I got pregnant, he told me he had feelings for another girl, and he told me that he didn't want to be with me. So I was basically alone during my pregnancy. He was there during the baby shower, and he came to the hospital with his mom when I had her.
So wait, you're dating Mr. Donaldson, you're in a relationship. You all are boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yeah, we were.
And so you're boyfriend and girlfriend, and you find out you're pregnant while you're in the relationship with him?
Yes.
And you tell him you're pregnant,
Yeah.
and he accepts that you're pregnant and it's my baby.
Well, he didn't believe I was pregnant.
Oh, he didn't even believe you were pregnant?
No.
You didn't believe she was pregnant, Mr. Donaldson?
Not at the beginning.
By claiming that she was pregnant because you told her you were in love with somebody else.
That's right.
So did you find out he wanted to be in a relationship with somebody else before you got pregnant or after you got pregnant?
It was after I got pregnant.
The intensity is mounting, isn't it? The plot thickens as Miss Harris and Mr. Donaldson wade through their romantic chronology, with Mr. Murray's daddy credentials getting shaky after Mr. Donaldson drops a bombshell, suggesting a DNA showdown. This revelation unwraps a whole new level of complicated, with a past menage a trois adding more twists than a daytime drama. It turns the paternity puzzle into a full-blown circus, leaving everyone wondering if they'll need to bring in a team of geneticists just to map out the family tree. In this game of Who's Your Daddy, the only winner is the popcorn industry, as we all sit back and watch the drama unfold, and you won't believe what's coming next. It's a game changer. The stage is set for a climax that will leave everyone speechless.
Why do you believe you could be the biological father of this child?
One day I was on Facebook and I got a message from Jalen, told me that the baby could possibly be mine.
So you get a message from Mr. Donaldson?
Yeah, I need to get a DNA test.
You sent him that message, Mr. Donaldson?
I don't recall. I'm not gonna say yes, I'm not gonna say no. I don't recall.
And wait, what, you just saw a message. And what did you say when you got that?
I said, are you sure? Then I had to ask her how she was feeling about it because I was going around her family and they was telling me that she looked just like.
They start telling you that the baby looks just like you.
Exactly like.
So, Miss Harris, why are you so convinced that Mr. Donaldson is the father if you admittedly had sex with Mr. Murray?
Because during that time, he used protection. And from the time that he's talking about he could be her father is from a time in December.
Imagine a courtroom drama that outdoes any reality TV show finale you've ever seen. Here's the scene. The judge, channeling the energy of a primetime show host, steps up with a microphone in hand. There's a dramatic drum roll, the kind that makes your heart race. And the air is so thick with suspense, you could cut it with a knife Everyone's on the edge of their seats, holding their breath like they're watching the last seconds of a nail-biting season ender. And the DNA results are in. The judge pauses for effect, milking the moment.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Gerald Donaldson, you are not the father. Ms. Harris, is there anything else you need to say in court before we go to the next result? Are you ready for me to read the result? When it comes to 18-month-old Anaya Harris, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Murray, you are not the father.
I can't sit here no more.
Ms. Harris?
Hold on. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
We got you. I don't want to be on the camera no more, no.
Okay. Miss Brooks and Mr. Page's conflicting views on the paternity of their son, Evian, set the stage for the emotional and complex dynamics to unfold. Miss Brooks feels abandoned and betrayed as Mr. Page denies paternity based on suspicions of infidelity. It's like an episode of Maury, but without the comforting presence of a TV host, ready to hug it out or run after you when the truth gets too hard to handle. And just when you think you've seen it all, the plot thickens. If you thought that was intense, just wait until you see what's next.
You state that after getting out of a 9-year relationship, you fell in love with Mr. Page, a younger man who you say swept you off your feet. You claim both you and Mr. Page plan to have a child together, but since giving birth to your son, Ivian, Mr. Page is now denying the child.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Page, you state you know the child isn't yours because Ms. Brooks was having an ongoing affair with another man and has even posted pictures on social media to that effect.
Just when you thought the plot couldn't thicken anymore, enter Mr. Wilson, stage left, with a mysterious grin and a knack for turning the drama dial up to 11. Picture this: Evian's life is already a labyrinth of emotions, twists and turns, kind of like a soap opera that decided to take a detour through a mystery novel. And then there's Mr. Wilson, who swoops in, adding more layers to the narrative, like he's trying to bake the world's most complex lasagna.
Right, and that's the next one that I got right here, Your Honor.
These are all photos of you,
all dedicated to
Mr. Wilson. That's the baby in there?
Yes.
But that's just a picture of me.
But they always with each other.
It's one of his profile pictures.
Yes, I'm the best thing that's...
I mean, look at that.
And then that's Mr. Wilson with Ivian.
Yes, and he has been there. Like, he is really upset because...
How has he been there?
He's been there because you're not.
With him. I buy milk, I buy what I got.
When you're not there, he is there. Do things, but he does the bare minimum.
I do the bare minimum, but I buy milk whenever she needs to. I'm the first person she calls when she needs something.
Every moment seems to unveil a new layer of drama. The emotional and physical absence of Mr. Page during significant moments, contrasted with Mr. Wilson's presence, further fuels the dispute. Accusations and defenses highlight the deep emotional rifts and the impact on their child. Meanwhile, Mr. Page seems to be competing for the world's most mysterious disappearance award, leaving Mr. Wilson to fill in the gaps like a substitute teacher in a class that's gone wild. The plot thickens, and you won't believe what comes next. Prepare yourself. The next revelation is a game changer.
He wasn't even there. He was there for the birth.
Oh, hold on. That's a lie. I was there. I waited till he was born and I left. I had to go to work. I can't call out 2-3 days in a row thinking I'm gonna still have a job. They don't care about that, so I had to go to work.
I'm afraid to ask, but after Mr. Page left, did Mr. Wilson make an appearance?
Yes.
Yes, he made an appearance, but way later. Because I made him.
He didn't come to the next day, but when I come to the place, I got my son ready to walk out the door. There's some lady like, oh, that's not your son. I seen some other guy holding him. Like,
really?
Yes.
This tale is more tangled than you could imagine. The revelation of Mr. Wilson spreading rumors about his relationship with Miss Brooks and claiming paternity leads to an intense confrontation and questioning of his motives and truthfulness. It's like Mr. Wilson decided to play Chinese whispers with the whole neighborhood, but every whisper is a plot twist no one saw coming. The next chapter in this saga is about to add another layer of intrigue. Trust me, you'll be on the edge of your seat.
Have you told people, Mr. Wilson, that you're Ivian's father?
Your Honor, yes. See, what happened was, it was this girl I was dealing with, and to make her mad and make her jealous because she had an issue with Miss Brooks because her hair was long and she wear tracks and Miss Brooks has on fingernails, she has on press-ons. I was just making her be jealous. But due to social media is something else. Let me tell you. She put all my business up. I think Santa Claus even know about the situation.
And he got too many. He's a thot. He got too many baby mamas already.
The climax is more shocking than anyone could have predicted. In the grand finale that has everyone's jaw on the floor, Mr. Page stands center stage, clutching the paternity test like it's gets a golden ticket. The room is silent, every eye glued to the envelope in his hand. With the dramatic flair of a seasoned soap opera star, Mr. Page tears it open. The tension could be sliced with a butter knife. Just when you think you've seen it all, remember, there's always more to the story.
Wilson, are you in love with Miss Brooks?
Yeah, during pretty time, yeah, I'm in love with her, but I would step between that boundary what them two have together as far as Mr. Page. But if it came to a chance down the line, yeah, I would if she would allow it, but I don't step in that boundary. I just keep it as...
This is not the truth. You are not sleeping with him, never slept with him?
No, not at all.
But he's telling people you have.
Right.
He's telling people he's your child's father. And
nobody's picking up the phone. I'm walking all around.
So what about when you disappear for days at a time?
I don't disappear. I
yes,
go to
you
work.
do. You disappear for days at a time. Then you would know where your son was at.
And sometimes she'll call, my pocket might pick it up. She'll be on the phone for a whole hour, sitting there listening. You was talking to, there was so much conversations going on around.
In an astonishing turn of events, the court reveals the results.
As it pertains to 8-month-old Ivion Page, as to whether Mr. Page or Mr. Wilson is the biological father, it has been determined by this: you are not the father.
Told you.
Mr. Page, you are the father.
Told you. Told you. Prove that. All of this.
Makes no sense that you with somebody who keep lying on you.
A new case starts with Mr. Kennedy denying paternity of Ms. Pope's 3-month-old son, Christian. He believes Ms. Pope is looking for someone to pin her child on due to her previous relationships. Their backstory unfolds, highlighting a brief, uncommitted relationship filled with misunderstandings and accusations. Meanwhile, Ms. Pope insists that her only mistake was believing Mr. Kennedy's claim of being an aspiring astronaut, thinking it meant he was reliable. The twist in their story is just around the corner, and it's one you won't want to miss. And trust me, the curveballs just keep coming.
Aim to be a nice guy who was forced to make the tough decision to drag the defendant to court to prove you did not father her 3-month-old son, Christian. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Pope, you and your mother are insulted that Mr. Kennedy denies paternity and refused to acknowledge your child. You say he laid down with you and now he has to step up and pay. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Kennedy, why do you believe that Ms. Pope claims you're the father of her 3 months?
I believe she's just looking for someone to pin it on or pick up the slack from her previous, encounter.
The stakes have never been higher. Just when you thought it couldn't get any more intense, as the case progresses, it's revealed that Ms. Pope had mentioned other potential fathers, casting doubt on Mr. Kennedy's paternity. Their relationship's casual nature complicates the situation, with Mr. Kennedy seeking clarity and Ms. Pope demanding support and acknowledgement of her child. The judge, tired of the he said, she said, suggests they settle this the old-fashioned way, a rock, paper, scissors match. The courtroom chuckles, knowing full well the DNA test results are the only game changer here. But wait, the plot thickens even further in the next scene. You won't believe what happens next.
You did make the decision to kind of pull back from this relationship. And so when she says he starts being a jerk and not returning my calls, the truth is you were doing.
Yeah, I admit it, yeah.
All right.
I found out that I was pregnant at 6 weeks. I had a cutie one morning and threw it up at work. I put the 2 and 2 together. It wasn't rocket science, and I knew that I was pregnant.
And Mr. Kennedy, do you remember when she told you she was pregnant?
She told me around May or June or July. At that point, she had said there were 2 other gentlemen involved, and I had asked her, could it potentially be mine? And she said, no, you're in the clear. So at that point, I
never said he was in the clear.
Hold on to your seats because this next part is a doozy. Ms. Pope whips out a baby picture to break the news to Mr. Kennedy about his potential VIP pass to fatherhood, stirring up a mix of skepticism and eyebrow raises. After all, the plot thickens with the mention of a lineup of potential daddies previously disclosed. This cinematic moment wasn't just a cliffhanger, it was a full-on soap opera twist, underscoring the desperate quest for crystal clear answers amidst the murky waters of paternity puzzles. The courtroom drama escalates to a whole new level next, so don't look away. The next twist is something no one saw coming.
He never told me who was on the other side of his gate. I also found out that there was another woman in his life that also had a child 3 months prior to me. If he would have told me that he was with somebody else and that she was also pregnant, I would have never even bothered with him.
Listen, I mean, it sounds like both of you admitted that it was just a relationship where you were friends with benefits. So you didn't have a commitment. And that's why I say all of the time, young people, you all having sex and playing it like it's Monopoly, and it's not better with more people.
Prepare for an ending you'll never forget. And then, with a drumroll worthy of a reality TV finale, the DNA results zoom in.
When it comes to 3-month-old Christian Pope, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Kennedy, you are the father. You are the father.